Hello, thank you so much for purchasing your Balance Procedure cards and book from me. I just wanted to explain a little bit more about the Balance Procedure to support your journey with the cards, because in my experience, people sometimes don't realise the value of what these things are, what you've actually purchased. And often they don't realise about the fact there is training that to go on to and why it's really important to carry on that journey and how much it will help you by doing so. So the balance procedure was created by Jenny and Alan Cox about 14 years ago. So it's not a new thing, but it's been taking um, great leaps forward in the last few years as well. So what is the balance procedure? Well, it is a non-verbal energy technique, which can be used on all sorts of different things. A lot of it is around mental health, but you can also use it on your physical health as well and emotional health. We actually have all four aspects to health: spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical, and it's all working on that. What the balance procedure is working on is that it's bringing together your head, your heart, and your gut. What it's feeding into is your autogenic nervous system, which has two elements to it. It has the sympathetic nervous system and it has the parasympathetic. Sympathetic is when we're in fight, flight, freeze, or we're out of flow. And the parasympathetic is when we are in alignment, when we're in flow as well. And that's when we feel really lovely and relaxed. Okay. So the balance procedure is a simple tool that has developed over the years. It used to be lots more cards. It is now 9 cards that actually create the balance procedure. Okay. And when you look at your cards, you'll see that they're bringing together lots of different elements. So the 9 cards are covering about gaining clarity, about visualization, infinite unity, the art of co-creation, the art of communication, the art of translation, the art of independence, the art of love, and the art of knowing. It's also bringing together the work of about 14 different therapies, because Jenny and Alan Cox were very developed trainers in moving themselves forward, but also therefore the people who met them. Sadly, Jenny Cox died this year, 2022, but Alan is taking this forward, and so the developments for the balance procedure happen every year, and any changes that we feel as trainers we need to make, or practitioners, it then gets fed back to the balance procedure to see what we might change for the following year, because it's a moving it's not a therapy technique as part of it. So you'll notice that on your cards you have a set of symbols, and the symbols are very powerful. The symbols are actually sacred geometry which work on your subconscious. So in our mind, we have a subconscious mind and a conscious mind. Our conscious mind is sometimes too conscious and too looking for things and judgmental about things, etc. And you need to switch it off. Okay. So one little tip for you when you are using your cards is please, when you actually balance yourself, okay, just don't look at the words. Okay. So just put your hands over it and look at the image, because you'll stop yourself from overthinking things, because your subconscious knows what's right for you. Okay, you don't need your conscious mind to get into it. When you've read through the book a bit, by all means look at what it says. Okay, but when you're first doing this, I really suggest you do that. You'll get a much better result as part of it, and that's me speaking from experience. On the back of the cards, you'll see this detail as well. You don't need to get stuck into detail or trying to remember all the detail. It's not necessary. No, don't overcomplicate it. But what it is doing is it's bringing together the knowledge of the symbol with color, because color is a color therapy, because we have chakras in the body which are different colors underneath within our energy. It talks about it has the chakras and the colors within it. Also, that numerology is behind the balance procedure as well. So you are unique. Okay, and your birthday and date actually makes a big difference for us to know what your life path is, so we can work that out as part of the balance procedure training. And we also work out what your personal year is, because we're in 9-year cycles as well. So sometimes we're ahead of ourselves in our mind about where we're meant to be. We need to slow down as well. The zodiac is all part of the balance procedure as well. And often we go, well, I'm Cancerian, this is all I can be. And that's not true. You have access to all 12 of the symbols. Crystals, gemstones are within the balance with the energy of them. Also, the planetary influences, where we are with the astrology, that all is impacting with the balance procedure at one time, as well as the elements, like the Chinese medicine, etc. And also, each card will look at a particular aspect of your health. So, if you've got a particular health issue, so for example, this is the card, this is the art of visualization, and it says, I'm a visionary, I'm flexible and passionate. But the physical things are the pituitary gland, which is up here, okay? The autogenic nervous system. If you're really nervous, then it's quite possibly that you're out of balance on this card, okay? It might be your pineal gland, or it also works on your face, your nose, your eyes or ears. So if you're working on seeing better with your eyes or hearing better with your ears, this is the card to keep balancing, to balance that in, okay? So you really need to take an open mind when you're using the balance procedure. The more open you can be, the better life will be. The closed mind is where actually we get difficult, because that's more of our conscious mind coming in. So we have the set of cards, and behind the balance procedure, we have a set of symptoms that maybe we are experiencing that causes a problem. So if you have any of these symptoms, which are behavioral, physical, mental health changes, so you might feel more argumentative, or you might become more withdrawn, or losing creativity, or working harder or longer. You might achieve less, procrastinate, desire to run away. You might have physical changes going on in your life, feeling tired all the time, sleep problems, aches and pains, indigestion, hyperventilation, muscle tension, low sex drive. You might have mental health issues of anxiety, depression, fear of rejection, insecurity, confusion, forgetfulness, phobias, and hypochondria. Well, that is all fight and flight in your mind, okay? That is actually all stress, and all these things can be sorted out using the balance procedure. So please take an open mind to the fact that you need to use it regularly to actually start shifting some of the things maybe you've been experiencing. You could have been experiencing ill health for years, and this is about taking a new step forward to see things in a different way. The premise of the balance procedure is that we actually create our own reality. So if something is not going right in our life, that basically means we've created that. No matter how much get that's a bit mad, but it's true, okay? So if you're experiencing a challenge at one time, etc., then that is actually something you've created. You have to go to yourself and just be honest with yourself. Go, okay, so if I've thought that and I've got that, what do I need to think instead so I get that? Yeah, because you may have limiting beliefs that are actually stopping you getting where you want to. Also, as I said, in personal gear, sometimes we're ahead of ourselves, and we do need to absolutely slow down. Within the balance procedure, we also have a set an aspect of consciousness. So where it's working on emotional scale. So the universe is actually guiding us by our emotions to actually gain the things we want to through the law of attraction. So actually the premise of the law of attraction is, ask what you're wanting, believe that you're going to get it, and you'll receive it, but you have to take inspired action. Now, the asking, you could ask somebody, or you could spiritually ask for something to appear. But the belief system, if you don't believe something's possible, if there's 20% of you thinks, I'm not sure that's going to arrive that day, then that'll actually be pulling you away from the very thing that you want to. Your language is very important about what you're saying as well. So you need to mind your language or change your language to get to be more positive as well. So the name of the game to be balanced is actually living your life from joy, freedom, love, appreciation, passion, knowledge, enthusiasm, eagerness, happiness, positive expectation and belief, optimism, hopefulness, contentment, and really just allowing all those positive emotions really to come through. Now, in reality, we do have things which go on which causes problems, and our mind finds it difficult to move on. We can't forgive somebody, for example. So I find one easy thing to see how balanced you are, see where you're starting from when you've got the cards, is to you can just Google Wheel of Life. Okay, I think this is from Start of Happiness, this image, and you can just score yourself out of 10 of different aspects of your life. Now, if you, for example, are low on all of them, don't start trying to go, I've got to change everything all at once, because you'll get overwhelmed and you won't do it. Okay, pick one area of your life and work on that first of all. If you need additional help on this, I have something called a reality checker that I can work on with you, and you can actually go deep, much deeper within yourself as part of it. But the Wheel of Life isn't actually part of the balance procedure per se, so you won't find it in the book, but I think it's a good tool for you to be aware of to support you. Also within my book, Are You Worth It? And there are free resources and this guide up on my website, insightfulminds.co.uk, is the love game. So, and I wrote this before I even knew about the balance procedure. And, you know, when the book gets edited again, I will put in the balance procedure into the book. So you want to have a happy heart. The heart is actually governing everything. It's 5,000 times more powerful than your head, whether you like it or not. Okay. So you want to feel more connected with life, more connected with what's going on around you, etc. But actually, what happens is things go through life and we blame ourselves, we blame others, or we judge other people about things. And we get anxious, we get angry, we get frustrated, we act like the victim, all that sort of stuff. Now, what you wanted to do is use the balance procedure to help you get onto the learner track, that you're learning in every moment and you're counting your blessings and your gratitude, you know, etc., and the different things that you're going on. So that's something that you want to be aware of, and that's a resource you can use. If you like more science behind what's going on to convince you a little bit more that it works, okay, there's a few books you might like to read. You might like to read my book, Are You Worth It? Spiritual Guide to Managing Your Money Mindset, especially if you've got money issues as well, you'll learn things about yourself. But there's a great book that got written last year, which is called Why Woo Woo Works by Dr. David Hamilton. And that's a book that doesn't actually mention the balance procedure within it, to be honest, but it talks about crystals, has Reiki in it, has meditation in it, which is all bringing together the aspects of the balance procedure. We've also, for over 20 years, had research being done by HeartMath. So if you go to heartmath.org.uk, you can look at the research they have about why the heart is more powerful than your head as well. Or you can read the Louise Hay books that have been out for years. She wrote that in 1986, saying actually it's all an inside job about what's going on, but nobody really believed her that actually we create our own illness. You're either at ease with yourself or at dis-ease, disease, okay? So if you're feeling any negative emotions, they will be contributing towards disease, illness that you feel, okay? So I want to just take you through how to balance check yourself, because obviously you've got the information in the book, but just so that you're clear. So what you do is you need to balance all 9 cards to see whether you are in balance. Now, generally I would do this standing up, but I think I might trip where I am, so I'm going to stay still. But also anybody who's in a wheelchair, you would need to, or you know, you feel a bit infirm, you would actually stay sat down, okay? All you have to do is put one of the cards, you look at the image on it. Again, I said, no, don't look at the words, just look at the image. So your subconscious takes it in and pop it on your heart. What you want to do is breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and say balance. And you'll should hopefully feel yourself go forwards. Now, if you don't go forwards, if you go backwards, for example, that's you holding yourself back on this particular aspect. And I'm doing the art of visualization at the moment, okay? If you go to the right, that's your mind in the past about something, about the art of visualization. If it goes to the left, that's you're anxious about something about that in the future. If you don't go anywhere, you think, well, my body didn't do anything. That means you're stuck about it. And if you circle, that means you're circling life about that particular aspect. So you've got all those different things going on. So what you want to do is with each card, just breathe in, out, and notice which way your body goes. When you come on training, I do a one-to-one with you where I professionally check that you are actually in alignment. I find when people just do the book and the cards, they generally aren't fully in alignment. They're not getting exactly the best results that they could do. Okay, you do have to invest obviously in the training, but if you don't have those funds to invest yet, then you know this is a great starting point because it will start shifting you, but you do need to be aware that you may not be 100% in balance. So what you need to do is you're going to breathe in and out on the card, notice if you're in balance. I'm in balance on that one. Go through all 9 cards. The ones you're not in balance, put in a separate pile. Then you take the ones which are not in balance and look at the card, and then get your book. So for example, if this is, you know, if I was out on the art of visualization, I would go in my book to page 37 and I would read the first paragraph, because sometimes my conscious mind needs a little bit more evidence. Okay, so I read what that's about. Okay, and then I go, okay, I understand what that's about. And then all you have to do is put your both hands on heart. Now, this is one aspect which the balance vision doesn't really talk that much about in the book that I want to add, is in your mind, just visualize how you want things to be with what's going on within you, what you think you're not doing. Okay, so see a picture of you doing that thing really easily and well. Hear what people are saying to you about it, hear what you're saying, praise yourself about doing it, and feel excited and motivated about it. Let's bring a little bit more sort of neurolinguistic programming into it, but it's really getting you visualized, because I find people aren't necessarily visualizing what they want, and they're not getting as quick a result as they could do with the cards. So as you visualize that, you know, what you're seeing, hearing, feeling, okay, then breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and say balance. And then you'll see that your body should be going forwards. If it doesn't, keep visualizing, keep balancing. If it hasn't balanced, you might want to put it to one side, balance the other ones, and come back to it. Okay, because sometimes they're playing off with each other. Okay, we don't know, everybody's different. Okay, so you've gone through all 9 cards, found out which ones are not in balance. The ones which aren't in balance, you read the paragraph in the book that relates to it, breathe in and out, visualizing, seeing, hearing, feeling what you're wanting, breathing in, breathing out, and saying the word balance, and noticing your body going forwards. The going forwards is the key thing that you're working towards. Okay, so in essence, you'll have all 9 cards will then be balanced, and you put the cards all together and then bring all the energies together. So bring the cards on your heart and breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and say balance. Okay, and you should be feeling so much better by doing so. Yeah, because that's the essence, is as it's shifting. We don't even need to know what it is that is shifted. That's the beauty of it. You don't need to know, it just makes you feel better. Okay, so when you let that go, you've then now got a set of cards that you can be using the whole time. The key thing is every morning, you know, when you sleep, your mind is all over the place, sharing dreams, all sorts of stuff, put yourself out of balance. So get your cards in the morning and just breathe and say balance. Okay, the key part of this is make it into a habit. You must do it at least 28 times to make it into a habit. This is a lifetime habit. It's not just I'll do it for a few days and give it up. This is a lifetime. Okay, if you really want the benefits of it, you then through the day, if you notice a negative emotion come up, so for example, I don't know, your child says something to you and that you're disappointed by what they've said, that's you that said that, because everything's perception is projection, is what you're projecting out at them, that emotion. So because you're disappointed, you go, I'm not allowed to be disappointed, that's not good. Breathe in and out on the cards and let that disappointment go. The more you do it on different aspects of your life about the negative emotions that come up, the more the good things come for you. It's about working towards being at that higher level of consciousness, really putting your happiness first, your joy first. Okay, and really understanding that you can then use the cards deliberately for things. So if you know you're going to a meeting, you think, oh, that could be a bit challenging. You've got limited belief behind that. You've just said to yourself it's going to be challenging. You've just set it up to be challenging. Okay, get the art of communication, put that on top, visualize it going well, and let that go. Okay, so you may want to pick a card a day if you want to, just if you need something more that day. So I believe that being in balance is a way of life. It's not always those roses, you know, that's going on, but the more that actually you apply it, the easier it is. One thing that you may want to notice as well is if you overeat in any situation, okay, or undereat, okay, because that will be your emotions also telling you something, your feelings. Okay, so do notice that if you feel a craving for something, you should be balancing at that point too. That's to give you a little bit of a clue. Or you're feeling, oh, I don't feel like eating, balance. Okay, because there'll be something, maybe you're deliberately not giving yourself to nourish yourself. This is all about self-love. Okay, hence we talk about the love game. Okay, so in essence, balance, I've got an acronym for balance. B is about beliefs. You need to really dig deep into your beliefs. Some of the beliefs you believe do not work, and that's why you might like to work with me, because I'll point those out to you. Okay, so get you back on track. It's also about attitude to life, it's about gratitude, success, and perseverance. Okay. It's also about language, minding your language. So being clean language to yourself, it is also what people are saying to you. Notice what that reaction you have to them. If you react badly, you need to balance yourself. Okay. And what you're, yeah, absolutely, what you're saying to yourself, you need to be noticing that a lot more. We have 120,000 thoughts a day. Okay. 300 words a minute self-talk. So you won't capture it all. Okay, it's about being authentic. It's being who you want to be, and not what other people want you to be. And often we're being going into jobs that we don't want to be in, and we don't feel happy, and that creates resentment, etc. And we want to be getting rid of how that is, and be authentic. Dress how you want to dress. Be how you want to be. Work how you want to be. It's also about nature, really enjoying nature and connecting with nature. Hence, we setting this within nature. Okay. It's also about gaining clarity. The more that you actually clear your mind, clearing emotionally things which are going on and bringing yourself into the present, the easier life will be. We overcomplicate things, we overthink, we get overwhelmed, and that's an emotional thing that makes us get overwhelmed. And it's about understanding energy. Everything is energy. We are energy. The computer is energy. The nature is energy. Everything is energy. Everything is supposed to be moving. If you are stuck in any way, that is or procrastinating, that self-sabotage, that is because you are not allowing that energy to move. The balance procedure allows you to shift that energy without even having to think much about what that thing is about. So when somebody works with me, they can do a deeper process where they do talk about things which happen fast. But if they can't because they're too traumatized, they don't have to. That's also part of the process. So if you're interested in that one-to-one work with me, then please do ask about that, and I'll happily tell you more about it. So training is available with the balance procedure. You've invested in the first stage in having the book and the cards. But if you want to continue, the training is literally 5 hours. You have a 1 hour one-to-one with me where I professionally align your energy, I work out your life path number and your personal year, and look at you more sort of holistically with you. And then you come on to 4 hours training, which is a group training on Zoom. So you can do it anywhere in the world. And you've got 2 hours one week, 2 hours another week. We look at your belief system. We look at how the balance procedure is featuring into that. We look at what you're desiring, and help you understand how it works. So it means that you understand how important it is to use the balance procedure on a regular basis to gain the success and to fulfill your potential how you want to. So the training, first level of balance procedure workshop, is 1 hour alignment with me and then 4 hours training. You can then go on to be a practitioner where you can gain your own income through it. You can train your own balance procedure workshop to your own clients if you want to gain a different income stream. So you're working on clients yourself, and you're also working, training them as well. And if you want to, you can continue on to become a trainer, but you do that just with Alan Cox, who is the co-creator of the balance procedure. So if you are interested in training, please do get in touch with me at liz@insightfulminds.co.uk, or learn how to use the balance procedure on my website, insightfulminds.co.uk. Often if the dates don't match yours, then get in touch with me, and often I'll put a date on for you. It really just depends on what's going on as to what dates appear. Okay, so I do my best to get at least 1 or 2 people onto each training as well, so you have somebody to bounce off rather than just being with me. But sometimes you are, but I can never quite predict that. So I hope you really enjoy using the balance procedure cards, and I really hope to see you on training and one-to-one, so that we can expand that journey together. So do get in touch at liz@insightfulminds.co.uk if you would like to know more. Bye for now.